It was about 8 o'clock in the morning. We were on a routine patrol, if you like, when we received a call down to Kenton Road. It was a man acting suspiciously, possible mental health issues, and we went to speak to him. He completely ignored us to begin with, and then when we tried to get his attention, he simply turned on us, wildly throwing punches, and he bit my left arm. He took a small chunk out of my arm at the time and ripped the sleeve clean off my jacket. He got hit by a car at one point and completely ignored it. Picked up breeze blocks, threw them at police cars.
By the time I got there, he saw us, and it was into the butcher shop really, and that's when, you know, the escalation was at a pinnacle really.
Somebody shouted, "He's going for the knives, he's going for the knives."
The customers inside came screaming, running out of the shop.
And there was about 7 or 8 officers perhaps in front of me, and I looked through the window and I could see that this guy was being held by one of the guys behind the counter, one of the workers, the butchers.
I ran into him, I tried to pin him with my shield against the wall. A hand appeared from beside me and a CS canister went off in his face in front of me, and I got backlash of CS as you do in these situations.
And then it became a little bit of a sort of pushing, shoving match. And then as I was standing there just sort of waiting for an opportunity to do something, I felt 2 heavy impacts on my leg. First thing I noticed was a big hole in my trousers. The next thing I noticed was my flesh hanging off, literally.
Next thing I know, I'm on the floor and he's on top of me, and you know, in my head it all went quite slow time. I was thinking in my head, this guy's on top of me, he's going to try and hurt me.
The knife went in under his met vest and into his belly. I won't forget that. That's when Ali Hinchcliffe was trying to pull him off.
He's got the knife in his right hand, and he just stepped straight toward me with his right foot, and he's just made an arcing motion just like that, straight into the side of my head, straight there.
He made a move to try and stab Sham. I don't think Sham even realised at the time. Split-second decision. I jumped across Sham's back and grabbed the arm with the knife in it around the wrist.
And in the end of this hand was this knife, and then along his arm was just police hand, police hand, police hand holding his arm.
The guys did a fantastic job. I think they used batons to try and get the knife out of his hands, and eventually it came out. Unfortunately, in that disarming procedure is when somebody managed to break my other arm.
Where the knife has gone in, I'm thinking now that it's penetrated so deep that it's come down and caused trauma towards the back of my jaw and in my mouth, and that's what's causing the blood to come out.
I was rummaging around in the ambulance for another first aid kit or any bandages or anything that's going to help. I grabbed what I could. I think I might have even grabbed the lady's lunchbox as well, the driver who was in there, and took that in with me. I just grabbed everything.
The thought crossed my mind a few times that one or both of Tom and Ali could die.
And then this surgeon comes up to me and he says, you've perforated your bowel, you've got quite a nasty wound to your bowel, you're bleeding internally, we need to get you to surgery now. This is going to be a life-saving operation. And I remember very vividly coming out the back of the ambulance and going towards the resus ward, and waiting there was a police colleague of mine who used to work at Harrow, and I remember him very vividly saying to me, "You're wearing white socks, you should be wearing black socks, your uniform code says black socks." And in my head I was thinking, you bastard, you know, I've got much bigger concerns at the moment apart from the colour of my socks. But thinking back on it, it's the way the police deal with like these kind of things. We deal with these things day in, day out, and it's humour that gets us through it. And looking back, I laugh because it's funny.